Hi everyone. I gotta get back around to where I can see you. Sonia here, and you are watching Pouring with Sonia. So I did a rather fantastic swipe the other day with a lot of interference colors in it, and it turned out fantastic, and it was on a black pillow, and it dried beautifully. Ah, it's just gorgeous. I will show it to you. So here she is. Hopefully you can see this beautiful shimmer now that the interference colors kind of color shifting depending on the light, depending on the angle you're viewing it in, but it dried beautifully. No cracks, no deep grooves, no anything. It's just fantastic. So today, same size canvas, 12 by 16. I want to pour on a white pillow, kind of an animal print. Maybe some animal colors, and swipe it with black. I have not tried this black before, so we're just going to give it a go. First, I'm going to talk about the colors that I used. So I have a burnt umber here that's mixed in with my pouring medium, which is just a house paint, a neutral base house paint. I won't say, just look for a neutral base, high gloss. And then I mixed in with that Nutmeg ColourArte pigment to give it a little bit of shimmer. So I have some burnt umber with a little bit of shimmer. Then I have the golden fluid acrylics interference gold. And all these interference colors, when you just mix them by themselves and don't put them into another color, they look very white. So it doesn't look like much here, but it adds that nice shimmer. And then I have some golden hot fluid acrylics iridescent copper. Then I have Blickrylics raw Sienna. It's just a student grade paint, but it's kind of that nice color, kind of animal earthy. And then I have some pearl white, some JoSonja pearl white that I also mixed in a little bit of Pearly-X pearl white mica pigment powder to give it a little extra oomph shimmer. And then I have the JoSonja Rich Gold. So I have this iridescent gold, which is going to be a really light color. And then I have this rich gold, which is gorgeous, which I love. And finally, I have a golden fluid acrylic. It's the Concoction Burnt Orange here on the end. I went back and forth whether I really wanted to use that, but I'm going to go for it. It's not any one animal. I'm trying to say like giraffe or cheetah. I'm just going with kind of those colors in general. So I'm going to put these aside real quick because they don't have a lot of space and I need to get them out of the way. So bear with me. I'll be right back. Well, Toby, you can stay there, baby. Okay. Sorry about that. So then I've mixed up some black cell activator. Now my cell activator is using US Floetral, 3 parts to 1 part paint. And I have never used this JoSonja Carbon black. I've used Arteza Mars black before, and I get some good cells, but I thought I'd try some different paint and see if I get a different result. Because I haven't been wowed by the Arteza Mars black in this particular recipe. So it's 3 parts of the US Floetral to 1 part paint. Then I put in some Gluol, Elmer's Gluol. And then instead of silicone oil, because everybody's asking how do you get those cells or that lacing, it is the Minwax Pre-Stain Wood Conditioner that I add, just like a 1/4 teaspoon. So this makes up about 3 ounces. And that's actually a lot. And I don't think that the cell activator lasts much longer than a couple days. I think the integrity of it breaks down. I don't get as good of results after a couple of days. So that's kind of a lot, but I'm going to have some fun playing. Fair warning about that wood conditioner though. If you are sensitive to smells, I would not recommend using that. I would try the silicone or dimethicone oil, coconut hair serum. Those things don't have an unpleasant odor. So the wood conditioner definitely has a definitive smell. And if you're sensitive to them, I think you might struggle with that. Just fair warning, if they don't really bother you, if smells don't really bother you, go for it. Start experimenting, have some fun. All right, so I'm gonna put this over here. And my swiping tool is just a extra thick piece of plastic. And then I'm gonna put that on just like a sheet protector, which is much thinner. I'm gonna pour my cell activator on that, dip my tool, and swipe across it. So let's move some of this out of the way and we'll get started. Hopefully that's a little bit, I didn't mix up much paint, so I'm going to be scraping it out, so I'm sorry about that. The pillow paint that I use for the black and the white, I go to the Sherwin Williams store. This is not the Sherwin Williams brand you can get, like the HD TV Sherwin Williams, like at Home Depot. This you have to go to the Sherwin Williams store for. It's the Color to Go samples, just the color snap. It's untinted. It's a satin paint. It's a house paint. So I'm just going to pour a nice big pillow down here. So the purpose of the pillow is to have a nice thick paint that your other, the colors that you lay out can glide on top of and just move around and stretch out. So the pillow, you don't want it too thin. This is a very thick paint. You don't want it too thin because you want these other colors to kind of stay on top and glide over top and stretch out. Okay, other than that, it's just a puddle pour. So I'm gonna just kind of put this right down and just make some lines here. This is my burnt umber. And I mixed up, so there's what, 7 colors here. But I want to I don't think I'm going to have, I just mixed up just enough. I don't think I'm going to have a lot left over to use on other pours. So I'm just going to kind of scrape it out, and then maybe I'll go rinse out my cups. But my sticks I'll throw away. I think I'm going to try and kind of go alternating colors, like a dark light and, not the gold next to the raw sienna. I want to kind of alternate colors so I get some interesting cells. Hopefully a few multicolored ones. This is the iridescent, or the, not iridescent, interference. Sorry, couldn't think of it. This is the interference gold I'm putting down here on top of that burnt umber. The interference colors look really nice. So I had a lot of people ask me, what is an interference color? Is it a brand of paint? It's not a brand of paint. It's, Golden makes it. Pearl EX has some mica powders. There's a bunch of different brands that make interference. Liquitex does. But basically, it's an additive that you either put into a pouring medium or into a paint. If you put it on a black or a dark color, it gives the color that you bought. Okay, like in this case, it's gold. So, but if you put it over white, it kind of gives the corresponding color, like the complementary color. So it color shifts. And that's the fun of the interference. It's going to change colors depending on the type of light you have that's displaying on it, the type of color you put it on top of, a dark versus a light color. So I have kind of dark colors on the top and the bottom of that interference gold. I have the burnt umber and then the iridescent copper. So iridescent is just, shimmery. Interference, depending on the color that it's interacting with, a dark or a light color, will give you a different color result. And that is because of some mica powders that they add to it. But it's just fun to play with. Okay. And now I'm going to put this raw sienna in. just a little bit of fun, calming yellow instead of a bright. I didn't want to go too bright here. All right. And I don't care about getting it in an exact petal striped, you know, lines on top of one another. I'm just pouring it out. No super rhyme or reason. All right. Now I have the pearl white. I just wanted some definite contrast in there. I know I've got white on the pillow, so there's going to be a lot of white. The pillow's going to poke through some of these colors and hopefully make some kind of interesting, fun webbing. That's the hope. The white will a lot of times, you know, really lighten up that color that's right next to it. So the brown might get a little bit lighter. But the black can sometimes swallow them up. So this is the rich gold I'm putting on next. Okay, trying to hurry here because I know this isn't exciting for you to watch. If I'd have made extra, I could just pour it out and move on, but I'm scraping my cups here because I just made just enough. Maybe a little extra. There is a lot of paint going down. There are 7 colors after all. And this is the concoction, burnt orange, I think I said. So the raw sienna does not have any shimmer or metallic, and neither does this one. All the others have a shimmer to them. All right, there we go. I really hesitated because I thought this might be too red, but we'll see what happens. It probably is going to be too red. I just didn't want it to turn pink. And I think if I did a white swiping color on top, it would turn pink, but I'm doing black. So that's why I thought, oh, I'll give it a try. I'm giving my cell activator one last stir. And instead of pouring it on top and then swiping, I'm going to put it on my little plastic sheet over here. Dip my tool into it. And then swipe because it's a big surface. And I don't want, by the time I swipe here and here, then some of it might have sunk. And so this way I always have a fresh coat. Oh, there was some of it dripped off. I'm like, wait, what is that on the edge of my tool? Some of this dripped onto my plastic sheet here. All right, so let's get a nice coat of this. And again, I've never used this JoSonja black for the cell act. Oh, you know what I need to do? I'm going to tell you real quick because I'm not going to swipe that yet. I need to get this pillow out to the side here. Just a little bit so that when I start swiping over here, it has something to glide on top of. And so I'm just going to pull it out a little bit. There we go. I didn't want to forget to do that. Okay, now I'm ready to swipe. So, kind of right in the middle, lay it down, and just let the weight of the plastic pull along here. Uh-oh, didn't pull right there, did it? And it didn't really pull all the way out. So I probably could have used a little more pillow, but I didn't. And I'm going to swipe this between each one. So I wonder if I should, since it really did just stop there, I'm going to pull this out a little bit Not all the way to the edge. I probably could have used a little more pillow. Just nudge it out a little. I'm going to be tilting anyways, but I want to get it close to the edge. All right, so now I'm going to go back in here and put some of this black on. And then come right here. Now, you can't really help where these swipes meet. I'm going to have a line. And that's just going to happen. So right there, you can see where my swiping tools kind of ended. But, so then what you can do, you can decide and design. So I'm just wiping off my tool here, probably off camera. So I'm going to flip this around because I think it's easier for me to swipe towards me. Now, I could either come right here and swipe again and keep that line going right here. Or I can swipe here and have one line there and one line there. And I think I want to offset them. So, I don't want the seams to repeat. I want them to be offset a little. Okay. I just really want to make sure I've got plenty of cell activator. I'm going to pour a little bit more because like I've got a thinner amount here than I've got out there. And I really want to have a nice even amount of cell activator on here so that it's all the way across pretty even. I've got it nice and thick all the way across there. You only get one chance to swipe. You can't really go back and re-swipe. So I'm going to lay this down and just pull it back this way now. And you can see as you let it sit, and I'm not rushing, I'm not pulling real fast. I'm pulling pretty slow. See how that pulled all the way to the edge? That's kind of what I wanted over there. Didn't get it. Especially on that first swipe before I pulled that paint down out to the edge, the pillow. But you can see where I first swiped. See how it's bringing all these cells up? These are going to continue to grow as time goes on. So I'm going to get this last swipe done and then I'm going to wait a second. Okay. So just this last bit here. Okay. I'm going to pull right up here. And just let it pull across. I'm not going fast, but I don't really want to stop either. I really have a big seam on that one. So I'm going to give this just a second. I'm going to clean up my little swiping tool while I'm waiting for these to kind of become more like that. Doesn't take that long, but I don't want to start tilting right away. I want to let that sit for a minute and be a little patient. So I think the black, this JoSonja black worked pretty well. I got some nice, we'll see how it stretches. That'll be the test. Okay, I do think that that quinacridone orange kind of does not fit with the animal theme, but it does make a pretty contrasting color in there, which is nice because I think I needed it. Might not be animal print, but it's nice. Nice contrast with that quinacridone or burnt orange. Oh, this one right here. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start in the center. Most of the weight of my paint's right here. I'm going to tip off to one side, bring the weight of the paint back, go to the corner, not all the way back, but just a little bit. Go to the corner, bring it back, come to the corner, and then bring it back to the middle and go down and do this side. And I'll get the edges too as I am moving along. That's the plan. So, and you know what? Let me move my, I don't want to tilt paint into the cell activator there because I will reuse that. So I'm going to go off to the side here. It's already started to go off to the edge there. So let's just see what happens. Get it the rest of the way over. Good. And to the corner. Okay. And I do think I'm going to get a little bit, while the weight is down there, off the edge there on the side. And now bring it back. And go to this corner. Okay, so I'm going to come down here. Come on, baby. My one yesterday, I must have had a lot more pillow because it moved really easily and kind of quickly. So I'm going to have to be a little patient with this one. And then bring that back. Stretch those cells out a little bit. Back up to the middle. And then we're going to go over to this side. So, put this down. And go off this edge. Yep, it definitely needs to come down. The black seems to be stretching pretty well. The cell activator. Okay. Back just a little bit. And over the corner and the side I go. It's really slowing down though. It really is. I'm going to have to really work to get this last one. I probably should have, well, obviously, should have put a little more pillow down. Okay. That's over the edge. Good. Let's bring this back here a little bit. And I'm going to turn it around again, just because I want to show you what I'm doing. Last corner over here, and I'm going to have to be a little patient now because it's moving a little bit slower. So, oops, I think I need to move this down a little bit more. You can tell when you start moving your paint if it's going to distort all your cells. Just readjust. I'm going to bring it straight down a little bit, I think. And now start tilting it over. Because it was going to squash all these ones up in this other corner. All right. Woo! Some of those are getting really big. But just get over that corner, baby. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Can I help you do it? There we go. And let's bring this back a little bit then. Well, it's not exactly what I was thinking in my mind's eye. I think a lot of that burnt umber got lost. Now, I'm going to set it down for a second. I can see, so here's the other thing that I've done before. I use my glove that's got a lot of paint on it and then start pointing things out, and then I drip all over everything. So I don't want to do that. I want to wipe my hands a little bit and show you some areas. So I want to let it sit for a second and then think about how I want to tilt it further if I want to. So my burnt umber, that really dark brown, became very light brown. Very light brown. There's a lot of fun shimmer in this though. Everywhere you look, there's fun shimmer. It's just kind of fun. But I don't know, I'm thinking this is more, not animal print, but like butterfly wing, you know? All right, so let me think about this. This center, this black right here, I don't mind. It kind of reminds me, it's like a relief from all of the busyness. And it kind of reminds me of the center of a flower, right? Right there. And then I've got this interesting line here. So now what I've got to decide is if I want to try and bring that line down a little bit or what I want to do. I might just see how it starts to look, but I don't mind it where it's at now. I don't mind. I think I'm going to leave it because because I think it's going to stretch these out in a really weird shape. So I think I'm going to leave it because I kind of like that it's broken up and it's created instead of right in the center, which is kind of boring. I like kind of the 2/3 of an idea, like 2/3 of your eye is down here, 1/3 up here. This is more like a 1/4, but still it's broken up nicely. And I like this little black center that reminds me of a flower. So I think I'm going to just leave it like it is. And so now I will take my gloves off and bring you down close. There's some pretty interesting, fun things to see. Okay. Let me see. Is that better? No, that's not better. Jeez. Okay. So what we have, so the white pillow kind of came down here, and the black cell activator, I've just got some kind of nice white and black. The black is a nice contrast here, but I've got some fun multicolored cells. My camera doesn't stay focused very well. Let me see if I switch back to this. It'll focus a little more constantly. Okay. So I've got like some of the pearl white and copper here. I've got copper, pearl white, rich gold, and then some of that quinacridone orange, like in that one cell right there. So there's some really cool multi-colored shimmery cells going on here. And I think that the JoSonja Carbon Black worked just fine as a cell activator. It does remind me more of a butterfly's wing than it does an animal print, that's for sure. I think I got way too many colors going in there for an animal print. If I would have just done like the burnt umber and raw sienna and then gold and black, or maybe that would have worked. I do like this corner where I've got that little bit of, I don't know why it just reminds me of a center of a flower, but it does. So yeah, it turned out pretty good. I think it's pretty interesting and fun. Lots of shimmer, lots of delightful things to look at. Lots of different colored, multicolored cells. Look at that. That's just pretty. That's just the way the copper and the gold and the iridescent kind of played together in this big, huge stretched out cell. Oh, that's kind of neat. And then I have some of really big cells up here and some more delicate ones down here. And so I like it. I'm going to say that was a success. And we'll see how it dries, but I like it. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Pretty interesting. It's, I don't know, I think on this it might look like it's like a light tan, but it's not. It's more of that pearl white sitting on top of the copper. It looks pretty neat. So anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you'll give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I'll just keep trying new things and explaining different little pointers to you, and hope you enjoyed watching this. And until we see each other again, have fun painting, everyone. Bye.